All right, Richard, welcome back to another Fantasy Goodfellas video where we're going to talk about the top 10 wide receiver rankings for week 9. You ready?
I'm ready.
The Fantasy Goodfellas.
Boom, boom, boom.
Rolling on the field.
The Fantasy Goodfellas. All right, before we get started on this week's rankings, tell me how we did on last week's rankings.
Well, if we take out Davante Adams, Ridley, and Antonio Brown, who did not play, we hit on 17 of the 27 remaining receivers, which is good, but it's not as hot as we've been lately.
All right, let's see if we can get back on the train. So for this week,
we will.
All right, I like that attitude. All right, so for this week's top 10 wide receiver rankings for week 9, Richard, take it over.
Number 1, we have Cooper Kupp, who will be home against Tennessee.
Is there anything that's going to slow down Cooper Kupp's season?
I don't think so, man. This guy is going to be the fantasy league winner, a guy that was drafted probably later, obviously not early based on last season. And man, he is just leads the league in receiving and touchdowns, and it just continues. So he has to be number 1. And number 2, Tyreek Hill will be home against Green Bay.
Do you think Kansas City is slowly putting it back together?
I don't know. I'm concerned. I mean, they squeaked out a victory against the Giants. Again, bad offensive line, bad defense. You know, Mahomes is going to be asked to do more, which could be good, but it's tight. But Tyreek Hill will have a good week this week. And number 3, JaMarr Chase will be home against the Browns.
JaMarr Chase is only a rookie, and he's playing like a seasoned vet. What do you see from him?
I wish the Dolphins would have drafted him. He looks amazing so far. He has 7 touchdowns. He's making big plays. And Joe Burrow's looking like the real deal. And number 4, we have Davante Adams, who will be at Kansas City.
All right, he didn't play last week from the COVID protocols. You think he gets right back on track? No lingering effects?
Yeah, he's the number 1 receiver by far in Green Bay. He has chemistry with Rodgers. It's all systems go. And number 5, Stefon Diggs at Jacksonville.
Stefon Diggs had a touchdown last week. Do you think he's going to put together a complete game this week with the touchdowns and yards?
Yeah, well, he's got the right matchup. Now, the only concern is that, Buffalo jumps out, takes a big lead, and they don't have to pass much. But I still expect Stefon Diggs to make at least one big play in this game. And number 6, A.J. Brown at the LA Rams.
All right, with Henry going down, do you think Tannehill and A.J. Brown can just take off?
Well, it's definitely going to help the passing game. They're not going to be able, they're not going to sign like Adrian Peterson off the street and give him 30 carries like they do, with Derrick Henry. So I expect more passing from Tannehill, and we're going to see his weaknesses. That we know as Dolphin fans, right? Like, he's not a world beater, but A.J. Brown is a world beater. A.J. Brown's amazing, and he's going to make plays happen. And number 7, Deebo Samuel versus Arizona.
Deebo Samuel is probably a late round pick. What do you see about Deebo Samuel that he's doing so good this season?
Yeah, Deebo Samuel's among top 10 in fantasy, probably a little higher than that. We knew the talent was always there with Samuel, but he's putting it together regardless of quarterback. If he had a better quarterback, can you imagine? And number 8, DeAndre Hopkins at San Francisco.
Hopkins barely missed the top 30, and I saw he had a 60-something yard touchdown taken away. Do you think that play alone would have got him hired for this week?
No, absolutely. He makes that play counts, and he's maybe in the top 10. But still, you have to be concerned about the number of targets he's getting. Obviously, Kyler Murray likes to spread the ball around. He runs well. They have other options. It's not all Hopkins. And Hopkins only has 49 targets this season. That's less than Hunter Renfrow, Tyler Boyd, Darnell Mooney, just to name a few people. So there is a little bit of a concern if you are a Hopkins owner. And number 9, we have CeeDee Lamb, who will be home against the Broncos.
I like CeeDee Lamb. He's getting a ton of yards. The only thing I don't like about him is the lack of touchdowns. Do you think with all those yards, he's going to get into the end zone more the remaining of the season?
Yeah, we expect Dak to be back. And I think, CeeDee Lamb is going to be the guy. Look, Amari Cooper is a stud, and he showed us last week. He's a stud, put up huge numbers, caught the game-winning touchdown. But as you see him in the sideline, he's always touching his hamstring, always touching his quads. He's very brittle. So I expect him to get hurt. I expect him to miss time. CeeDee Lamb is going to be healthy, available. He has Dak Prescott. I love CeeDee Lamb. And number 10, Justin Jefferson at Baltimore.
Minnesota's looked good all season. All of a sudden now it looks like the wheels fell off. What's going on?
They haven't looked amazing, but you're right. That offense does have firepower. Their defense has been more of the problem. But this week, the Cowboys contained them. I think Baltimore's been a Jekyll and Hyde defense. We don't know what to expect, but I don't think you're going to hold back Justin Jefferson 2 weeks in a row.
Thanks for coming on here and sharing your top 10 wide receiver rankings for week 9.
My pleasure. Remember, like, subscribe, send your questions in our comments section. I see the questions are definitely coming in. Keep them coming. Thank you.
The Fantasy Goodfellas.
Rolling on the field.
The Fantasy Goodfellas.